it's Jenny and welcome back to my kitchen. Today I want to share with you a really easy dinner recipe. So this dinner is done in 30 minutes or less. It's loaded with veggies and made with a really simple sauce. It's my recipe for an easy homemade chicken stir fry. We'll get started by heating a tablespoon of oil into a large skillet, and then we're going to use 1 pound of chicken and cut that into bite-sized pieces. To keep our chicken really tender while it's cooking, we want to make sure that we're cutting our chicken breast lengthwise against the grain. All of your chicken breast is going to have a distinct grain pattern that runs along the length of the muscle fibers, and that's what you're going to want to look for while you're cutting. Now once you've cut this against the grain into slices, now you can turn it and just cut it into cubes as desired. Now once everything is diced up, add it to your heated pan. And then we'll season it with some salt and pepper. And while our chicken cooks, we're going to prepare our veggies. Starting with our carrots. You want to peel these and then slice them into thin slices. And you'll need 1.5 cups of sliced carrots, which these 2 large carrots made. Next, we're going to slice 1 cup of a yellow onion. Now you can add your onions in sliced and long thin slices, but I also like to dice mine, especially when I'm serving it to my kids, because it's way less noticeable that there are onions in this recipe. Next, we're going to prepare our broccoli. I'm using 2.5 cups of broccoli florets. Now I'm also taking the stem off and just making these a little bit more bite size. Now, however you prefer to dice your veggies is going to work. I just like to make sure that all of them are similar sizes so they can cook evenly. Next, we're going to dice up our red bell pepper. I like to dice these in large bite-sized chunks. So while this recipe doesn't take a lot of cooking time, there is a lot of prep when it comes to your veggies, which is why I like to make sure I'm cooking that chicken while I'm prepping my veggies to get everything done in 30 minutes or less. So make sure you're checking on that chicken and giving it a little stir every once in a while you prep your veggies. I'll also be adding snap peas to this, but since those don't need any preparation, I'm going to move on, and now that my chicken is cooked, I'm going to remove it from the skillet and then just set it aside. Now we're going to heat another tablespoon of oil in that same skillet, and then we're going to add in our carrots and onions. I find that these take a little bit longer to cook than everything else, so I like to add them in first. Your cooking time can vary depending on how thick you cut those carrots and onions, but I like to add them in first and give them a good 3 to 4 minute head start. And while those cook, I'm going to get started on my sauce. The first thing you're going to need is 1 tablespoon of cornstarch. And to that, we're adding 2 tablespoons of water and give it a whisk. Once combined, we're adding 1/4 cup of vegetable broth, 3 tablespoons of soy sauce, continue to whisk these ingredients together, and then we're going to be adding in 1/4 cup of honey. Then we're adding a tablespoon of sesame oil. Now I know this isn't a kitchen staple for everyone, so if you can't get a hold of it, you could also use an olive oil or a walnut oil for that nutty flavor, or even just try a grapeseed or avocado oil for something more neutral. And now we're going to season our sauce, starting with 1/4 teaspoon of ground ginger. Then we'll add 1/2 teaspoon of crushed red pepper flakes. Now this doesn't give it too much spice, but if you want to add more or less depending on your taste, go ahead and do that. I was able to get the sauce mixed up just in time. Now that our carrots and onions are soft, I'm going to go in and add our broccoli that we prepared. Then we're adding our red bell pepper. And now we're adding those snapped peas. So we're going to place in 1 cup of these sugar snapped peas, and I get these from the grocery store just like this, so there wasn't any prep involved. And last, I'm adding in a tablespoon of minced garlic. Allow this to cook for a few minutes until all your veggies are becoming tender. Then we'll add that cooked chicken back into our skillet with the veggies, and then pour on that homemade sauce. Now allow this to cook for about 1 to 2 more minutes. This is going to keep your veggies still with a little bit of a crisp, but if you want them a little softer, you can always add your lid over a skillet and let them steam just a little bit. Preparing my sauce and veggies while other things cook really helps me save time on this recipe, and that's how I can get it done in just about 20 minutes. In an optional step, you can garnish with some sesame seeds. All right, our chicken stir fry is done. I've added the recipe down in the description below, along with a link to this recipe at thediaryofarealhousewife.com, where you can go print this off, you can save it, and you can find hundreds of other easy recipes just like it. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.